Hello, I'm David D. Cosmo. Welcome to ECTV Live. I'm joined by my co-host, Rusty Fender. Rusty?
Another holiday, and
It is.
you and I are both old enough to remember when Lincoln and Washington had their own birthdays.
Their own day.
Before 1970.
And I remember in my days in school, we had both of them off.
Me too, until
So they
1970, and they combined them.
All the kids got gypped.
Yeah, big time.
And teachers.
Big time, you're right.
We are joined today by Sarah Elizabeth Donahue,
Sarah.
who is our spokesperson for the area's newest
Yep.
St. Patrick's Parade. Now, I always remind everybody that I never say St. Patrick's Day Parade.
That's right.
Because
Because it's not.
That's
no,
right.
no, and as many activities as we have, and as many parades as we have in the general area, there are none on St. Patrick's Day.
No, not around here.
Too many other things going on then. But Sarah, Pittston's is the newest.
We are.
And I remember when it began, I was a little bit surprised because I always associated Pittston with its Italian heritage.
Which a lot of people do.
Sure, but yet there's a great Irish heritage there as well.
There really is. We get the reputation for the Italian heritage because of the Tomato Festival, I think. and
Maybe.
A Columbus statue in town, but we really are very Irish too. We have a great Irish demographic population, so why not celebrate it in our great city?
That's true, and yet with something like the Scranton St. Patrick's Parade, which is one of the largest in the country.
It is.
When you take on something like that, you take on quite a challenge.
You're telling me.
You took quite a chance with the first one.
We did, yes.
But it worked.
And it's
It
nice
works.
to know that you're competing, so you kind of took a back step and you worked around the big
Of
ones.
course.
That was a good thing.
We would never want to compete with Wilkes-Barre or Scranton, obviously, so we're always on a different day. Not only do we not want to compete, but there's only so many groups and pipe and drum bands to go
Yes,
around.
yeah.
So they obviously want to participate in all of the parades. So we went first. We're March 2nd this year, 2 weeks away, which is very early, and that's actually the earliest it could ever be. It's not, next year we'll kind of reset to a little bit later. We're based on when Scranton is, and they're based on when the holiday falls, and it falls on a Sunday. So they go the week before on the Saturday, so we go the week before them.
It's tough with
March
Scranton
2nd.
because they never do it on the day. Even when it falls
No.
on the day, a lot of folks don't know that they do it the week before.
Yes,
Even
yeah.
when St. Patrick's Day is on a Saturday,
Saturday.
they do the Saturday previous.
Before,
So
right.
it's weird
So
how
we
that
go
works.
off of that, obviously. So we're very early this year on the 2nd, but next year it'll be a little bit later for us.
But as I recall from earlier conversations here, you have actually coordinated with the Scranton people to some degree.
Yes, when we first started planning, we met with them actually, and they were wonderful and instrumental in helping us figure out some logistics. Obviously, we had no idea what to do generally in planning a St. Patrick's Parade. What do we need? We obviously have our Tomato Festival Parade, so we know how to put a parade on in Pittston, but
yeah.
this is different. This is a different animal, so they were wonderfully helpful, and they still they've marched in every one of our parades, and I already have their application. They're coming.
Oh,
in
they
this
have
weekend.
their own group that watches in
Yes.
your parade too.
Yeah. Every year they come and they march in our parade, and I already have their application, like I said, so they're already in for this year.
Oh, that's great.
really
now,
nice.
Now, when you set this up, well, first of all, when is your date again this year?
Saturday, March 2nd.
Okay,
at
the
noon.
timing, noon
Yep.
is the parade.
Noon is parade time. We have a
And-
couple other things going on that day. Mass we have, and we have our leprechaun loop. So, but noon is parade time that day.
Okay, let's not skip over the leprechaun
No.
loop because this is a very big thing.
It is. The leprechaun loop is our 1 mile run walk, and it's on parade day. It's at 11 a.m. and it's only a mile, so anybody could really do it.
But it encompasses town, North Main to the Fort Jenkins Bridge, then down
And then-
Kennedy Boulevard.
And then
Yeah.
Kennedy, and it goes around our Columbus statue and comes back to the YMCA. It is really nice because the proceeds from it we are donating to the Care and Concern Ministries of St. John's Church and Allied Services this year. We partnered with Ryan's Run, which was a new partnership for us. They've been very supportive, and we think it's a great marriage of the two
Also,
groups.
run and walks are
Yes.
going to be more and more
Yep.
popular.
Yep.
Well, there's there's certainly a very large running community. I don't
Very
know about
large.
Sure
walking
is.
quite as big,
You're
but-
right.
Right, and the great thing about the mile is you can walk a mile. You can bring your dogs, you can bring your babies in the strollers. A mile is not much, and it's relatively flat, so come on out and do it. Support a great cause. We give awards out for best costumes in addition to best times.
Oh, so they run in costume?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything we do in Pittston is fun. So
I
don't forget
shouldn't be
that.
so surprised at that because it seems to me that I saw you dressed up for one of the Halloween activities.
Yeah.
Not this past year, but the year before. But you were dressed up this year
Yeah,
as well.
I did Tinkerbell. I did a race as Tinkerbell. I did one as the unicorn. I love to dress up and run. I think it's so much fun. So
Well,
too bad I can't compete in this. I'm busy putting the parade on at Turkey Hill, or otherwise I would dominate the costume contest for this parade.
It also brings out the point that, and Rusty and I have talked about this so much before, that Pittston is just alive with activity.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Yes.
And we're going to focus on the parade today.
Just
but
from the
fact of matter is-
infrastructure alone of the
Yeah.
town.
Right.
Yeah, the downtown looks
Incredible.
fantastic.
It does.
Yeah, it really does.
Every day I feel like there's another
Really
mural or
does.
something, some beautiful new piece of art.
And
I
every
know.
year they're extending the landscape, the streetscape by
streetscape,
another
yes.
block now down to the fork in the road is next. The new bank at the corner of the fork
We
in the
are
road. It's
thrilled with that.
incredible. It really is.
Because that's our lineup area where the new streetscape
right.
is. And so just to have all of that, what used to be just dirt basically is
That's
now
right.
nice sidewalks
And
for people to
dilapidated
walk
houses,
on.
which were torn
Are
down to
gone.
make the
Now we have
Luzerne
the
National
Luzerne
Bank.
Bank.
Yeah.
It's such an upgrade to that area of town, and it was well needed, and it looks great.
And
So
you've
we're
got-
thrilled. I'm thrilled lineup-wise, obviously,
bet.
because it's just a nice area to line up. It's much nicer than it was for the people walking.
You've also got Luzerne County Community College in
do.
the city
That's right.
now.
Yes, they're a new resident of our town, and that is incredible. I love that we're a college town for all intents and purposes.
Well, we had talked
It's
with their
great.
president right here on this program, and those plans were announced. And I'm so glad to see that it's come to fruition, that
It
it's
is,
actually happened.
and there's
down
some
there.
really great classes offered there. It gives people from the greater Pittston area an easier opportunity to make classes. Nanticoke's a little bit of a hike from Pittston, so this is great if you could just go, a couple blocks away to
A
Pittston.
great
we
restaurant.
love it.
Palazzo pulled out, and now another one took its place.
Yep.
There doesn't seem to be a lapse in filling real
Business.
estate, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
We are a hot town to be in right
It's
now.
true.
It's wonderful. It's a great place to be. I live downtown. I love living downtown. I walk
And what is
a lot
the
of places.
parade looking like this year? Now, you mentioned kind of casually about the application to be
Yes.
in, so it isn't a matter of just we're going to show up, we're going to march. You
No.
you got to line
Wish
up.
it was that easy. No, we take applications, and I think we're going to have about 100 groups, which is pretty much average for us. There's pipe and drum bands, there's a lot of nonprofit groups, a lot of businesses that just want to advertise their business, so they make a beautiful float. Animal groups are my favorite, absolutely. The little dogs with their little sweaters and like tutus on are just so cute. Performing groups, dancing groups, lots of great groups. And this year, what we're really highlighting is we got a balloon, a shamrock balloon, like literally like Macy's
Oh, yes, yes.
balloon. And it's a shamrock, and that's going to be the highlight of the parade this year. So I can't wait to see that coming down Main Street. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be really neat. We've been thinking about it for a couple of years, and this year we decided this is the year to do the balloon.
Well,
so
this
should
is
be fun.
this is the sixth year you
Sixth
mentioned,
annual,
right?
yep. This is our sixth
How
one.
has it changed from year one?
Well, we've added a number of things since year one. We added the Leprechaun Loop, and then we have a bunch of things this coming weekend, which I can't wait to talk about, that were all added in years after the first parade. But generally, the parade itself has been the same. We've added some new groups. We've lost some groups, obviously. It's a fluid thing every year. We actually gained a lot of new groups this year, a lot of new applications. So that's really motivating to me to see that there's a lot of interest in the parade. And beyond the Pittston community, there's a lot of out-of-town groups that have heard about it and want to come participate.
Well,
so
you know,
I'm really inspired by that.
You mentioned earlier that there's only so many groups. The groups, many of those groups are very, very anxious to be involved in St.
Yes.
Patrick's related activities. And so this gives them an opportunity
does.
to have another showcase
You're right.
for their band or whatever it is that they're promoting.
An additional date to showcase it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be something that you're probably going to get the extent, I know Scranton has hit it some time ago, where they've got to turn people away.
Right.
Because you can't.
Yeah, it's
you
a
can't march
6-hour parade is kind of ridiculous. which
Exactly.
Got to,
It
6
is,
hours.
and there's only so much space to line up
exactly,
as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be lining up into like planes.
Yeah.
But then you have the advantage there of being able to have the pick of the crop,
Yes.
as it were, for the people you're going to
right.
have to march in the parade.
Right. We love having a variety of groups, whether they're performing or mascots, whatever it is. And people do a really great job. I'm always very humbled when I see how much time and energy and money, quite frankly, people put into their units to come do this and parade down Main Street. When I do line up that morning, I just can't believe how nice some people really do it and get into it and really get the spirit of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, now you mentioned about how you didn't compete with Scranton. It's a
No.
separate date. You kind of interact in things. You also mentioned that, and everybody knows, that one of the biggest things in the area is the annual Tomato Festival in,
Yes.
in Pittston. Do you get cooperation from the people that work with that?
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
effort?
We love the Tomato Festival committee. They're our BFFs.
So do they help you?
They help
in
us out.
terms-
We help
and-
them
and
out.
you vice
Absolutely.
versa? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a number of people that sit on both committees, actually, that just want to do better in their community. So
Yeah.
they join whatever community groups there could be. So
I
they
think when
sit
you're
on
working
Tomato
for
Festival
a
and
common
St. Pat's.
cause to bring people downtown, it's
Yeah.
mutually beneficial. Everybody works
To everybody,
together.
absolutely.
You bet.
It's to our benefit to help them. It's to their benefit to help us out. Everybody wins when there's great events in Pittston.
Sure.
All year round. So no, we're very good friends with Tomato Festival.
Yes,
committee.
and it almost seems as though it now is a year-round set of activities.
Yep.
You have an arts walk, I believe, now.
Art Walk every second Friday from May to October,
Okay.
which is nice. We have a Halloween event. We have a Christmas event. We are
The
really-
Halloween event is unbelievable.
one of my favorites.
I accidentally tried to drive to an event in Wyoming
Yeah.
that night,
That night.
through Pittston. That was a bad move on my part.
Sorry.
No. It was. I'm so impressed. You know, I grew up at a time when my hometown had crowded streets.
Yeah.
The sidewalks were busy with people. And when
Mm-hmm.
I drive
Right.
in a place like Pittston and see an event that pulls so many people
Mm-hmm.
out to the downtown, I am impressed.
People forget about that. I did too. Even in a small town like Duryea in Old Forge, they used to paint
Yeah.
the windows in watercolors for Halloween and judge. It was, 12 months out of the year of activity for something coming up in these small towns.
Yeah.
That was the year, of course, before malls and when everything was based downtown and nothing moved to the suburbs too. A whole different era.
Well, these events bring people back to
Absolutely.
that, not
Yeah,
only
which
to
is the
that
goal.
era, but to the downtown physically.
Yes.
And now you've got a downtown you can be really proud of in terms of the way it's been redone.
Yep.
The facades of buildings, the lighting is
Period.
The
fantastic.
lighting
Street
is
lighting.
wonderful, especially in the
Incredible.
new streetscape area. So
The
much brighter, so
lantern
much
lighting
safer.
of the 1940s. It's
Beautiful.
But they're bright.
Yeah,
It really,
is.
these events, I swear, they just look like a Norman Rockwell painting.
They
They're
do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
beautiful when you just look around and take it all in and look at the buildings and the lights and the people and the murals. It's just, you can't ask
And
for
it's
anything
strange
more.
you should make that analogy too with Norman Rockwell paintings because I don't know who the artist is or was, but someone had done a whole lot of paintings of Pittston back in the day. And I see them every so often. And now I recount them when I come to an event like this.
Yep.
And I say, wait, it's that way again. That's
Yes,
kind of,
which
except
is-
for the
it's
trolley
great.
cars,
Yeah, which would be awesome. Maybe.
Well,
Again,
I guess you could put tracks back in if you wanted
I guess
to.
you could.
why not? Crazier things have been done.
Sure. All right. Now, the parade starts at noon.
Parade is at noon on Saturday the 2nd.
And
Yes.
where do you want people to, where's the best spot for them to watch it?
I'd say the area right by our Lower Tomato Festival lot is the best spot because we'll have an MC there
At near
announcing
William
the groups.
Street?
Kind of between Market and William Street,
Okay.
those couple blocks there is the nicest area. That being said, it's the busiest area, so if you're looking maybe to take your family away from some of the noise, anywhere else beyond that hub would probably be a better spot. But in that area, we do have an MC announcing the groups as they go by. And oftentimes the performing groups will stop and perform their dance
Yes.
or whatever to the band shell, to the MC and any other dignitaries that may be on the band shell. So that's the nicest area. I think it's the most exciting area where there's the most amount of people, and the MC is obviously nice. But everyone's different and has different needs. Maybe if you have little kids and you don't want too many people in that area, then go somewhere more towards like Albert's Pharmacy or down by the Geisinger. Urgent care would be a great spot to go because it's
Toward
a
the
little
bridge.
less, yeah,
Toward
towards
the
the bridge.
Fort
It's a
Jenkins
little,
Bridge, yeah.
little less mellow down that area.
Do
That
the
might be a better
groups,
spot.
do they stop other than before the reviewing stand occasionally to?
They do, I believe. You know, I've never seen the parade.
Oh, because you're in.
I'm always at lineup, so I think that they stop at multiple places.
We're gonna have to
I'm
check
told.
that out for
It-
us.
it's
I'm
true,
told the
though,
parade is
when you're
awfully nice.
involved in it, you never get a chance to
I've
see it.
never
It's true.
actually seen the parade.
That is true.
I'm always at Turkey
You
Hill
should
doing
go.
lineup.
It's a very good.
I hear it's nice, but I think that they stop at a couple different points throughout the parade, but I don't know. I've never seen it. I'm always at Turkey Hill lining everybody
that's
up.
actually a good answer.
Maybe someday I'll get to see it. I don't know, but I believe that yes, they do stop a couple times and will perform throughout the route.
Okay, so they get a number of opportunities to view the marchers and see those that stop, and band might stop and do
Perform.
one of their tunes and things. So,
Yep.
so that's great. Now, you also said that there are activities beyond the parade itself that are all
We've really
associated-
created like this monster of, I don't even know. It really started with a parade, and now we have a lot of things. So yes, the second is parade day. There's the parade and there's the Leprechaun Loop, which I already talked about. You can even register that morning for it at the YMCA. So if you're thinking about it, definitely do it that morning. And we have Mass at 9 o'clock in the morning on parade day. It's St. John's Church, which has always been very good to us, and that's actually the 6th annual Mass as well. We've always had a parade day Mass. So that's parade day.
What time does that happen?
9 o'clock at St. John's on
Okay.
William Street. And I think it's just a really nice way to start parade day. It is a St. Patrick's parade
Sure.
at the end
And
of
the
the day.
clergy, Joe Elston is really into it too.
Yes.
So
Yes,
yeah,
he is.
being
He is
Irish himself.
He is Irish.
Yes,
He's,
so it's a
he is
good deal.
Irish. I remember when Monsignor Bendick retired and Father Elston was taking over, he said, he's a great Irishman. He'll take care of you. Don't worry.
So that's at
So,
9.
9 on parade day. That's
And
parade day.
the Leprechaun Loop
Is at 11.
is at 11,
Yep.
and the parade itself at noon.
Noon. Yes.
So
you got it.
you got all the walkers back in time for
Yeah.
parade to.
To start, if anybody wants to do the loop and be in the parade, you can certainly do that. You can certainly make Mass and do the loop and the parade if you wanted to. We spread everything out so nothing is competing with each other, obviously, on
Right.
parade day itself, and everybody gets to do it all.
And about how long, if somebody's going to come and see the parade, about how long does that?
I think it's about 2 hours. It really depends, honestly, on the weather. On a
that's
better
true,
weather
yeah.
day, it moves slower because people don't really mind being outside.
Right.
They'll stop and see people along the sidewalk. Hey, how are you? What's going on? Haven't seen
Yeah.
you in a while. If it's cold, and we've had cold parades, it goes like, whoop, it just moves. People move and want to be done with it because it's cold.
Sure.
So last year was a little bit warmer on parade day, relatively speaking, and it moved a little bit slower. The year before was very cold, and that
And
was
windy.
and windy,
And
and that
windy.
was a very
Yep,
fast
remember
moving
that very
parade.
well.
It really is. It's an alive thing. It depends on, I think the weather has a lot to do with it, how many groups are in it, and if those people in the parade kind of stop and talk and commingle with people
Sure.
on the route watching it. So it's about 2 hours, I say, 2 to 2.5 hours. I think it's a good amount of time.
Now, are there events that are not actually on that day as well?
Yes. So this weekend we have a lot going on. This is very exciting. More than parade day, I think, actually.
Ah.
This coming Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, weather permitting, which looks good for now, but weather permitting, we are having our line painting shenanigans, which is so much fun. So we have the green line painted by Mayo Striping, our very good friends. They are very good to us, and they love our parade so much that they dress up as leprechauns while painting the line.
This is the line that goes down
Down the
main
green line,
street.
yep. Yes. They dress up as leprechauns while painting the green line. And not only that, because we don't do anything average in Pittston ever, we have a bagpiper playing his bagpipe, leading the painting of it. Our very good friend Butch from the Wyoming Valley Pipe and Drum Band, he will play his bagpipe and then literally lead the line painting, which is hysterical. It's
Striping is an event in itself.
It
because
really
remember,
is.
The Tomato Festival, the red line for
Yes.
the tomatoes is in between the yellow line. So
Yes.
folks don't know that this, no, I would notice stuff
Now-
like that.
now
but
it'll be
this-
green.
It's incredible. Just the striping alone is an event.
It is. It really is. We turned it into an event somehow.
You had a
because
pink
every-
one in between there, too,
Pink
I
for
think.
Paint Pittston Pink, yes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
Currently
That's
pink,
right.
because Paint Pittston Pink is after Tomato Fest. So currently it's pink.
That's
It'll
right.
be green this Friday, weather permitting, obviously.
Okay.
And that is just so much fun to see. We decided, we've done it in the afternoon the last couple of years. We decided to do it in the morning at 10 a.m. just because we think that's after the morning rush hour.
Oh, right,
But
sure,
before the
sure.
lunch rush hour. Hopefully it's a little mellow spot that we don't interfere with traffic too much and upset people, because that's obviously not our goal.
2 years ago was the snowstorm, which they removed every flake of snow from the road, which was phenomenal.
That was last year.
That's right. That was last year. That's right.
That was last year. I remember it well.
That's
it was,
right. You couldn't tell it snowed, and it didn't stop snowing that time until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and you worked overnight to get every sidewalk and gutter and street. It was amazing.
Our committee and a lot of volunteers and our wonderful DPW did a phenomenal job.
It was amazing.
We just shoveled all of the sidewalks. We put all the snow onto the road, and then the plows came by and took it away. But it was like, I don't even have words for it still. The effort that went into that.
They should work for PennDOT. I couldn't believe it. Seriously. It's
we
amazing.
knew Saturday, South Parade Day, was going to be a nice day. We just had a massive cleanup to get there. So we didn't want to cancel or postpone the parade when it was going to be a beautiful parade day.
That's right.
There was just a ginormous effort required to get to that point. So we shoveled, and I couldn't feel my arms for a week. But it was totally worth it. And we did have a lot of compliments from people saying it doesn't even look like it snowed here.
It doesn't.
What'd you do with it? When?
I thought for sure
don't worry
we were
about
going
it.
to cancel the day before with the blowing snow and the drifting and the 12 degrees. It was amazing.
And the Verizon outage was that night.
That's
and there
correct.
was power outages everywhere. Literally everything that could have gone wrong.
The Verizon outage was that night. That's right.
Well, one thing
I've never been so stressed in my life, I swear.
Everybody around here
bad.
loves a parade, but
Yes.
fact of the matter is you've got to deal with the weather whatever hand you're dealt.
And it's March.
So you do the best. You do the best you can, and people usually will come out to enjoy it no matter what the weather is.
They did. A lot of people. We had obviously some cancellations based on people not being able to get to us.
Sure.
But not a lot, just some. A lot of people still came out and watched it.
Hopefully this year that won't be a worry.
I sat here last year and I said it's the 5th annual parade. We are due for a great year, and then I got like a blizzard the night before. So I don't even think I want to say anything about the weather this year. I don't want to jinx anything.
This is northeastern Pennsylvania. I think the past, just my editorial opinion, the past 7 or 8 years, it looks like a snowstorm here and everything shuts down.
It does.
I mean, and you have these television stations that call a 4-inch snowstorm of the blizzard of 2019.
Right.
When I was a kid, a 4-inch snowstorm was a 4-inch snowstorm. Now everything is measured in terms of this is catastrophic and it's a blizzard and the coldest temperatures.
Right.
It's the year of the panic for all this. Things should go on like they did more than 7-8 years ago.
Let them continue, and that's the best
what we think.
way. Beyond the line painting scenario.
So that's Friday, this coming Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Come on out, watch it. Obviously the kids are in school, but if you're available, then it's a really neat thing to see. Saturday, we have our pub crawl, which is so much fun. This is our 4th or 5th, I'm not even quite sure, 4th annual pub crawl. And we take the Wyoming Valley Pipe and Drum Band, which is great, and we're going to 3 bars this year with them, and they'll play 2 sets at every bar.
Oh, okay.
So you don't even need to do all 3. You could just do 1 if you want. We are going to the Knights of Columbus at 5:15 until 6:45. Then we're going to walk across the street to Tomato Bar from 7 o'clock until 8:30. Then we are going to go to the Red Mill, our final bar, from 8:45 until 10:15. So the band will play a couple sets at each bar. We'll mingle. We'll have a good time with friends and family. It's by no means a drinking event. If you just want to come hear the beautiful music, all these bars have non-alcoholic drinks. By all means, there's no reason you have to think it's like a wild and crazy drinking event. It's not. Just come hear the beautiful music. And really enjoy the camaraderie of the season.
Another great place, the Red Mill.
Really
when
nice.
I was at Pittston area, this is back in the mid-1970s, that came a long way. Now they have the deck and the bar outside.
Yes.
It's right at the fork in the road, too, on South Main. Came a long way. It's a nice, beautiful place.
Robbie Johnson, the owner, has put a ton of money and time into it. And you're right, he's expanded. He has a great outdoor patio now. He's really put a lot of love into it. And it's a great spot parade morning because that's where lineup is.
Sure.
So that's a really hopping spot. But the pub crawls, it's a ton of fun. Just so much fun to see all the people, hear the beautiful music at every single bar, a couple different sets. It's just really nice. So that's the pub crawl. Sunday night, we have our newest event, which is the Little Miss and Little Mister Pittston Leprechaun Contest, where we'll have children ages 3 to 7 from Greater Pittston, anywhere basically, can compete to be the Little Miss and Little Mister Pittston Leprechaun. And then they'll ride in the parade the following weekend. I host it. I'll ask them a couple questions. Generally, how do they feel about leprechauns? It's just what's their favorite part of the parade.
Where do you hold that?
We have that at the Pittston Library, the
Okay.
Pittston Memorial Library in their beautiful community room. At 5 o'clock is registration. We'll probably start about 5:30. So I already have some applicants for that. You could sign up that night as well. And that's a really fun thing to see. The kids are so cute. It's not a pageant, so we don't need fancy dress, but spirited dress, something green or Irish probably would be nice. And then I'll ask them a couple questions, and I have a couple judges that I have a chart to put points on. And everybody gets a prize. Everybody gets a little Irish trinket. And then they'll pick 2 winners, and then they'll be in the parade the following
I
weekend.
love the idea that you've expanded beyond the parade. The parade itself is fantastic and a great
Yep.
attribute to the town, to the area. But now these little
Wraparounds.
ancillary things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it shows life in our area,
Yes.
and that's
An
people
expansion
being
of a
together.
good thing.
Yes, it is.
And my
Yes,
goal,
it is.
my goal entirely is nothing more than ever just making the kids happy and entertaining them. So I always encourage groups to have mascots or costumes, obviously give candy out as much as they could, and just do things that are very kid-friendly. I think we put on a really nice kid-friendly parade that has a lot of good entertainment, because that's what it really is. It's
Sure.
a show at the end of the day. As you're sitting there watching it, you want to be entertained. So I purposely space out the groups as well, so that I know that there's like music every so often or a mascot every so often, so it's a very consistent show and the kids shouldn't get bored. I'm a teacher. I know that like once you lose a kid and once they check out, then it's hard to get their attention
Sure,
back. So
sure.
I know the importance of keeping them engaged and entertained in the whole show, and that's very near and dear to my heart, to make sure that it's a really good show for the kids. So while our pub crawl may be more of an adult activity, obviously, the Little Mr. Leprechaun contest is obviously kid-friendly. And even if you don't want to enter your kids in it, just come watch it. It's going to be
anyway,
really
sure.
cute to see, obviously.
Before we go, one more time, very
Yes.
quickly, if anyone has questions about what's scheduled, what
Yes.
time, when, where can they find out?
Our best resource is our Facebook page, Pittston City St. Patrick's Parade. That's updated most often. It's just the easiest way for our committee members to
Okay.
update and promote information. Times Leader and the Sunday Dispatch are our media partners. They're going to be putting a program book out this weekend, actually, which will have all the information necessary. Send me an email, a message on the Facebook page. My email is sdonahue@pittston.st.patricksparade.org. Not the word saint, but ST. And we do have a webpage itself, Pittston City St. Patrick's Parade.org.
Break a leg this year.
Thank you.
Sarah Elizabeth Donahue, thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Sarah.
filling us in on this year's St. Patrick activities.
Thank you for having me,
in
as
Pittston.
always. My
Glad
sixth
to have
time
you.
here.
Rusty?
And your favorite, you alluded
Yes.
to. This is your favorite, right?
I love coming
She'll go,
here.
to the next, she'll go to the next station and say that's her favorite.
No,
too, but that's okay.
I love coming
Right,
here.
Mike?
Yeah,
This is so much
she
fun.
likes me to do it. Listen to the brogue when I'm here. That's what it is.
Aaron goes
I
raw.
suspect, I think.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much,
Oh,
Rusty.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Rusty
Thank you.
McFadden.
Mark, thank you for making us look so good.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mark.
that
Aaron
sounds
goes
great.
raw.
I'm
Sounds
David
legit.
I'm David D. Cosmo. So we see you next time on ECTV Live. I hope all your news is good.